So, where is home? For most of us, this is an easy question. But for the homeless residents at the Jackson Interfaith Shelter, this is a struggle to answer. With my team, Jola and Swarnima, we've been working with the Jackson Interfaith Shelter, and we've been trying to help the homeless get essential IDs so that they can access the civil service to answer that question. And what we found is that when trying to access and get these IDs, they found the process to be overwhelming and complex. If you're someone with no IDs whatsoever and you're trying to get that first one, it's very difficult. You have to speak to multiple different people, multiple organizations, and ask someone to kind of make an exception for you. So our solution, it's a quick, easy to access tool. It takes less than 5 minutes to fill out, and it helps people know where to go, what to do, what to bring. At the same time, it helps organizations collect and analyze data so they can really pinpoint how big is this problem and where are the people going to get help. We've built everything on free open access software, and this is kind of where we're asking for your help now. We ask you to share it with some agencies, with some different shelters, so that we can all use the tool and then gather the information and see where is the problem and where to go next. Thank you.
So I think this is a great idea and well done. Navigating bureaucracy to get an ID is challenging even for those of us who don't face the additional factor of being homeless. So I like the way that you integrated it with a physical location with the shelter and the shelter staff, and that you've also talked with the staff so that if somebody comes in and doesn't have the literacy levels that allow them to complete the process, the staff sounds like they're willing to help with that. That depending on how much work that entails, that could be onerous for the staff. But I think a lot of people who find themselves in the social service network need that support. So I'm glad you incorporated that. Looking ahead, I do think that the next steps that your group has discussed are important. A lot of that's out of your control. I know Washtenaw County has an ID program that is probably too costly, it sounds like, for this community, but those kind of steps are something to explore in the future.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit biased toward this because this notion of access to ID, not only just for people who are homeless, but also recent and/or undocumented immigrants and everything. This is a really important issue and a really important barrier for some people to fully participate in society. So I think it's great to find solutions in this space. One thing that a couple that I was curious about. One is just given that you have this very strong anchor partner, but sort of how exportable or replicable is this model, and how can they work to share it with other like-minded institutions in this community to be able to help address this problem at a bigger scale, give you access to bigger data, so you understand things like that. And the other piece is I really liked what you guys are trying to accomplish with the printouts. But after you fill out the form, this is what you get. And but I bet there's probably even a couple of iterations that you could do on the form itself to make those printouts even more specific, even more crisp and more precise. So things like the one on the table, basically if you needed a birth certificate, it listed both how to get it from Jackson or from the state, and like sort of one version that's to ask someone if they were born in Jackson. Therefore, they wouldn't have to get like both those confusing things on the same sheet of paper. So I really like where this is going, and I think it's a very important issue, especially as we want our cities and communities to be more welcoming. We need to find ways to accomplish this.
As you spoke and my other panelists are sharing, some things have come to mind to me, and that is, it's a great kickoff tool because you've provided a roadmap, and it's going to assist shelter staff in helping the homeless get access to ID and start working on that Section 8 piece. I go a step further in saying it's not expensive to help people get those tools, get those IDs, get that birth certificate. How easy would it be to raise funds from somebody to say, for $75, it supports one person getting all of their IDs from start to finish, to then now you've got a fundraiser, now you've got a drive, now you've got, hey, listen, we have documented 75 homeless people in Jackson. Well, at $75 a person, what does that take? You're talking about a very, very small community investment fundraiser that could help assist in this process from start to finish. And that's where your community is going to add those public funds to get that done. And it raises that awareness. I mean, it's, you know, this type of outreach type for your community involvement is going to provide that Section 8 housing, is going to help that person get a leg up. And it's going to take it. I look at Grand Rapids and I shudder to think of the number of people that we have on our corners with signs. And I mean, I can easily go to 45 corners in Grand Rapids and find a person. And why can't we help them get that leg up? Why can't we help them get those IDs and get that Section 8 housing and get them into programs that can help them improve their lives? So I think this is a great start, and the roadmap is a very good starting point. I think it can definitely be expanded.